What's up with my Power Addicts crew? This isn't a typical opening, is it? As a matter of fact, no, it's not. Got bored sitting here at the airport. I'm at Denver, Colorado at the moment, on my way to go see my son who lives in Vegas. And I was sitting back, chilling, editing some video, and discovered I didn't shoot an intro or an exit. So you thought, you know what? I think I'll just shoot it right here and now. But I tell you what, since I'm here in this airport, I'm going to give you guys a little pan around a little bit. Let's see what it looks like here. I mean, it's an idea. I'm here. Why not? I'm just down from my gate a little bit. Look, you got a globe all flattened out right there that arcs up. And you can't see it from this angle. Hold on a second. Okay, let's try this again. I'll have to edit all that out because the overhead intercom just kept going and going and going. So anyway, here we go. We got the flat globe thing right there that arcs up. Pretty cool in here, honestly. But you know, by comparison, Vegas Airport rocks. I mean, it's got a lot more scenic stuff to look at. But I mean, after all, it's still an airport. I've bounced a few airports because of my boys being in the Air Force and stuff. I travel, go see them and such. So if it's the first time you guys land on Power Addicts YouTube channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I do these cool Jeep videos, car videos, motorcycle videos, tool videos. And not only that, now I'm doing this fiberglass repair series. So you might want to check the videos out and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of this really cool stuff. Alright? Hit that subscribe button. Alright, let's get on with this before another intercom starts up. If you guys refer back to the first video when I introduced this CJ top, I told you guys that I was going to do something different with these side windows. I didn't want this factory glass in there. I wanted something cool, something unique. Well, I got to have a way to do that. So today, we're going to show you guys how to pull a mold off the side of a shell. I'm going to leave the glass in it. I'm leaving the rubber seals on it. And we're going to pull a mold right off the side of that top. Yeah, fiberglass top. But before I can do that, see all this crud? Most of that's actually on the inside. But I need to clean this glass real good so I ain't got no stuff on it. And once I get it good and clean, I'll have to make me a tape line, go around through here and wax it real well with mold release wax and get ready to pull a part off of it. So I'm going to get me some cleaner and clean the outside of the glass. I'm not going to worry about the inside because I couldn't care less about pulling mold from the inside. But I do want all this right here smooth so the mold that I'm pulling will release from the part as easily as it could. Okay, I just took a regular glass cleaner and went around it real well, scrubbed it real good. The glass is just as smooth as it can be right now. Then I took water, make sure the glass cleaner stuff was in there. But the thing about using water could be a no-no, simply because the catalyst in fiberglass does not like water. So what do? Well, now I'm going to take me a paper towel with some acetone, wipe all this right here down, because acetone will evaporate really quickly, which most of the time takes the water with it. So I'm going to wipe the glass down. Now you see it still looks dirty because a lot of this stuff's on the inside of the glass. A guy gave me this shell and I instantly went to work on it. Hadn't even bothered cleaning anything up on it because I'm restoring it. It's kind of cruddy anyway. Now you see we got bad places right here, which is okay, not a big deal. We got a bad place right there. When I start laying the wax to it, I'll show you little tricks to take care of that. Alright, so I'm going to wipe this down with acetone real quick, make sure the water has evaporated, and we'll start taping it off for the wax. And watch while I wipe it down with the acetone. See? You ever notice how fast it evaporates out? And you really want to concentrate around, in this case, around the seal, because that's where most of the water is going to build up where I wash the window. Then once you do that, you can take and wipe the glass down, make sure it's clean, flip it over because now it's look all black and nasty, flip it to the clean side, and now we got the glass clean enough. Now we come around the top, tape it off, and get ready to start waxing it up. Now somebody's going to ask, hey Chuck, is acetone the same stuff that fingernail polish remover? Yeah, kind of yes. Don't use fingernail polish remover. There's a simple reason why. Yes, it does have acetone in it, but what it also has is a bunch of oils and stuff like that, that whenever that acetone evaporates off the lady's fingernails, that there's lotions and stuff like that that helps keep them drying their fingertips and cuticles and all that stuff out. Do not use fingernail polish remover. You can get acetone at like any of your hardware stores, a place like that. It's not expensive. So just go to, I don't know, Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever, you can get acetone by the gallon. So use it, that legit, clean, pure acetone, not fingernail polish remover. Okay, you see I got the window taped up, and we got me some drop cloth here for any resins and gel coat that's going to drip down so it doesn't get over my tires, side of the paint, or anything like that. So now we got that done, let's lay some wax down. Now here's a mold release wax. We just keep this old rag stuffed in it like that right there because it stays very well saturated. We'll take the rag, wax the part right there, let it dry, buff it off, wax it again, and we'll buff it off again. Then we'll start laying paint. And take your wax, like where the rubber meets the top, you take your rag and push and cram it. That way you get wax crammed down inside the top seal right there. Now I got a void up here, but we'll get to that here in a minute. And I got a void right there. We'll get that here in a minute. First, we want to get that wax crammed underneath that seal, even here. Now, the thing about it is, gel coat, the fiberglass paint, is pretty thick stuff. So for it to creep under stuff, does not do it very much at all. And don't be afraid to use the wax. Now, give a coat on the glass. Need some more wax. Make sure you rub that seal down good. So make sure that you cram that wax back up inside the seal edges. And look for any places that you missed. Get out here again. So what we're going to do now, we're going to let this wax rest a little bit. It'll haze over, and we'll come back, we'll buff it off, and we'll put a couple more coats on it. Now before I shut the camera off, I want to show you what I did. If you see I'm pushing the wax right there, I'll show you what I'm doing. Oh, dang it, I done took it out. Ooh, stuff slimy. Okay. So when I'm pushing the wax like that, you see we got a void in the rubber seal right here. That wax crams back up inside there. Now somebody's going to be all perfectionist and nuts about it and say, oh my god, I still got to leave a void in the mold. And you're right, it will. But the thing about gel coat, fiberglass, like that, it's not going to allow the gel coat to run under the seal. It'll stop that, but it will leave a little mold mark that you can do like body work and work all that stuff out. And we got a little bit right there. I filled a hole up here. I can't see the viewfinder. There it is. Filled a void. I need to crank a little more wax in there, but we'll do that on the second wax. Got a little void right there. But like I said, whenever I start doing, if this mold fits both sides like I think it will, I'll dress up the mold and make it all nice and pretty. That way I can pull parts off of it. Alright, so I'm going to let this haze over, come back and wax it off, and put some more wax on. Wax on, wax off. Okay, I just laid my second coat down. I just want to show you guys, if you got voids in the area that you want to pull a mold, like I showed you how to cram it in with the rag stuff, you can also take a little bit of wax on your finger. Do like that. Also, silly putty, Play-Doh, anything like that will work. So I've already got that one filled. Okay, I still need to wipe off the wax. You see I got some buildup right there. So I'm letting the second coat haze over. We get in here, we'll fill that in a little bit, like that. Now again, mold paint, mold gel coat. It's pretty thick stuff. It doesn't creep into cracks and crevices very much. So, like I said, I'm gonna let this right here haze over. I'm gonna wax that off. Then I'll probably lay one more coat on it and we'll start laying some paint. Okay, let's mix this up some gel coat. Yes, I've got it in a coffee jug because one of Dad's, he had some tool and gel coat in a 5-gallon bucket, and so I went and got it. Got some. So that's about all we're gonna need for this project, I hope. If not, we'll just mix up some more, not a big deal. That. What you don't ever want to do is leave that gel coat on the edge, or even the resins or anything like that. Leave that on the edge because it'll glue the lid to your container. That little bit ain't gonna hurt nothing. Okay, now we got to put a little bit of catalyst in. You seen how much I put in there? Put about, this goes pretty quick and easy. So I'm gonna put about 2 teaspoons or so into it and mix it up. Mix it up good too, because this stuff is like crazy thick. Mosquito trying to get me. Okay, 2-inch paintbrush, let's go over and get to work. I know this is going to look weird, but I'm painting window seals and all. And take your brush, run along that seal so you don't get no voids inside that, so you get it filled in correctly. Y'all thinking, oh my gosh, it's destroying that top. You can't use resin and fiberglass by itself to pull molds because it leaves too many air voids. Gel coat flows, smooths out all the corners and the crevices and stuff like that, and allows for a smooth surface with no voids. Probably would hurt to thin this stuff a little bit. Jeez, it's thick. Now, oftentimes when you're spraying, oftentimes you're making big molds, put in a paint gun and shoot it. And a pressure pot, not like a gravity feed gun like that. You use a pressure pot for this stuff. And just like the resin, it stinks. Concentrating on the seal first, then we'll coat the glass. But I want all those cracks and crevices filled before we concentrate on everything else. Go around and make it double check. Got a little bit going on under here. But the gel coat, those cracks and crevices like that is where the gel coat really helps you out at. Now, like on the glass itself, you can pull a mold with pure fiberglass. straight off the side of something that's super smooth. But those cracks and crevices that you get from the seals, in this case, is where the gel coat does its job. And usually I would probably thin this stuff down, but I've got so many voids that I'm filling with inside these seals, where it's an old seal. The thickness of this gel coat is actually a benefit at that point, where it doesn't creep down inside those places. And the places where, like right here, I got this void, add a little extra gel coat. Because what that's going to give you the ability to do, whenever you start doing the body work on it, because I'm just pulling off of a junk seal, whenever I start working the mold and making it, you know, smooth as a baby's butt, it gives me plenty of gel coat to work with to do the body work, should I say. And I got plenty up there where that void was. Got a little bit right there. Get that filled in. Okay, I got that void right here I need to hit. Right there. Plenty of juice right there. Plenty of paint. Got that one there. Now, whenever you're making molds, you want to use a red, an orange, or something like that. Because most of your parts that you're going to lay up from that point on, when you actually make the part itself instead of the mold, you're going to be using like a white, ivory, or something like that. So whenever you got a red, orange mold, something like that, and you lay down the paint to make your actual parts, you can see if you got thin paint. If you lay a white tooling gel, a white tooling paint, then you can't, if you spray a white over top of it for your part, you can't see if you're getting thin or thick, whatever the case may be. And now it looks a lot better if you spray it. In the center area right here, I don't sweat it too much because, like I said, on flat areas, you can actually use raw glass to pull a mold from. You got to make sure your cracks and crevices is where you've got your good heavy tooling gel at. You don't want the thin spot out here in case you got to do some work to it. Because if I put my sliders in, I'm going to cut all this section out anyway, so it's not that big of an issue. So, all right, let's wait for our stuff to chill out, or cure out, and we'll be back in a bit. Take the check. It's a little bit tacky still. I mean, it's not coming off on my finger, but it's still a little sticky. So I'll give it a little bit longer. So in the meantime, I'll get my fiberglass mat and all that stuff prepared to get it ready to lay in. It's one thing about whenever you lay down the paint, there ain't none that's going to come back to do it tomorrow stuff. Once you lay down the paint and the paint's ready to go, you lay down the glass. Otherwise, this will start turning loose from the part, whatever you're making the mold from, and you just wasted a bunch of tooling gel. So once this right here gets to the point, it'll always be a little tacky because this paint right here does not have wax in it. Versus gel coat that does have wax is what you would see if you walk onto a houseboat or a bass boat or something like that. That gel coat that you're stepping on has wax in it, prevents it from ever being sticky. If it does not have wax in it, it'll always have a little bit of a sticky feel to it. But this is curing out. It's still a little bit sticky, so I'm gonna go and get my material ready, so hopefully by then I'll be able to do it to it. Okay, I've got my material cut laying over there ready to roll on, and so let's go ahead and pour some resin, get a little catalyst going. It's cooled off out here a little bit, and so I'm gonna fire it a little bit warmer. That was probably about close to 2 teaspoons or so. And it ain't gonna hurt to use that. Stir it up. Now I gotta move my camera. It's time to rock and roll, baby. Put my roller right there, so I'll need it in a minute. Put you some resin on here because you want your mat to go up there and stick and stay while you work with it. And I need to change my safety glasses because these are tinted. Now you see why I got all this stuff draped over the side of my Jeep, so I ain't gonna make a mess. Now I'm going to show you guys the first layer, and all the other layers do just the same way. Okay, so I got some resin going right there. I'm gonna sit this over here. Take the first layer of glass, get it above up here, because you want it above right into that tape line. Make sure you're overlapping over here. See how much I got. Let's see, I'm good. Now get your brush and your material and wet that out. So I'm going to want to overlap my glass a little bit right here. The thing about mold making is that it eats resin. And don't get crazy, sling it over here and get it over soft top doors. You can take your brush along the seam right through here, pack it in. Now we got one other tool I'm about to introduce here in just a moment, but I want to get my material wet first. See, I'm going to have to need some more resin here in just a minute. Okay, now we're going to take that other tool I mentioned, which would be called a fiberglass roller. Take that right there, and you want to roll your air out. That way you can get right inside these little cracks and crevices, contour that radius right through there. I'm going to give it some more mat come right down through there. I cut my material just a little bit short. Okay, then you're going to give it some more resin. Okay, I'm going to lay on another layer of mat real quick. And because I cut this a little short on this side, I'm going to overlap it to that side a little bit. Take it, push it down, gets that wet so it sticks. Okay, now I got nothing over here, right? Right. So then I take me a little short piece here, lay it up against that, overlap it, comes up to about right there. Yeah. And lay the resin to it. Now once you get 2 to 3 mats on it, skin coated, it's not a big deal if it has to set thin, but you want at least 2 to 3 mats on it before you can call it good and, you know, leave it set and whatever. Any place you see it like super white like that, soak it down. Then we're going to hit it with a roller here in just a minute, but you want to make sure all your material is saturated really well first. Again, you want to be wearing safety glasses because if you run this roller like this, it's going to throw rooster tails off of it and it can sling you right back in your eyes. This is where you don't want zero, nada air, because it'll make weak spots in your mold and then you'll be fixing gel coat spots. Just take it, bump it like right there, hit those cracks and crevices. If you're wearing gloves, that works too. Usually you run the roller until you get 2 mats on it. The roller's kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. Because one single mat doesn't roll out very well because there's just not a whole lot of material there to saturate. Some of those weird cracks, radius right there, you can come back with that with a brush and tamp it down. And it's now the next day. Allow this right here to cure overnight so the rigidity of the fiberglass sets in as well as it can. And so what you hope at this point is that the wax is actually going to do its job and it allows the part to turn loose, or allows the mold to turn loose from your whatever you're pulling the mold from, in this case the top. So cross your fingers, hopefully it's not going to be a pain in the butt. And sometimes if the mold wants to stick, you got to drive wedges in between, all kinds of craziness to make them break loose. So let's hopefully this thing acts like it's got some sense. Ah, look at that, sweet. And there she pulls. Okay, we'll pull our tape off now. Look how smooth that is right there. Obviously that's the glass. The glass surface, glass on the. And apparently it rained sometime the last night because when I pulled the tape's wet right here. So what we're going to do at this point, I'll come through here and where my tape line, like right through here, I'll use my tape line around through here to establish where I cut the mold to clean it up, to make this a working mold, and pull me a part out of it to make me some side panels. Okay, remember earlier when I was waxing the window right there, I told you some place I crammed the wax into? You can see right here one of those places, which is very easy to fix. You take the gel coat and get in here, sand it, radius that smooth that radius out and take all that kind of defect stuff out. Not a big deal. It's easy fixes. I would have taken a lot more care in prepping the top to pull the mold, but for one, I started kind of late last night. I need to get this done. I'm on second shifts right now at my work, so yeah, sometimes my time's a little bit limited. And look at this, it's about to rain out here, and this coming Saturday morning I'm flying out to Vegas, which is where my son lives. He's stationed at Air Force Base out there. Go see my granddaughter, all the family and everything. So I had a lot of stuff I gotta get done this week, and I wanted to make sure that piece was pulled, so when I come back from a vacation, then I'm gonna start making my side panels. Now the purpose for this mold right here wasn't pretty, obviously, because you see the thin gel coat, and I just brushed that in. If you're gonna get perfectly, laid in gel coat, you're best spraying instead of brushing it. Out here, the gel coat was like crazy, ridiculously thick. It was hard to brush around that seal, but when I got out here, I took and mixed it with a little bit of acetone, a little bit hardener, and got that gel coat smeared across that glass because it was really hard to push across that smooth surface. Now, look at this. See all those bubbles? That's resin. I fired the stuff a little bit warm last night because it was cool outside, and I wanted to make sure it cured out before I went to bed. And so I fired it, well, yeah, just quite a bit hot, which ended up working against me. When gel coat starts hardening like that, it makes it hard to work the bubbles out. Yes, from a mold designer that used to be years ago, we all still make mistakes, people. So I wasn't able to get my roller in here to get all the air out. So I got an air pocket there. I got some air pockets here, and there's one. And if I keep going around beating on the edges right here, I might find even more. I've done this crap for years. Hey people, I still make mistakes, I'm human. But that's why I talk about on my past videos about getting your ratio correct between your resins and your catalyst. Because obviously you fire too hot and you lose control of your resins and you don't have time to work it, to work all the air out. This is what you get. Not necessarily this, I wish I'd caught this on video, because when this right here happens, you start hearing it boiling, snapping, popping, and all this kind of craziness, and you look at it and the container has got smoke rolling out of it. It's kind of freaky, to be honest with you, it really is. I have seen this stuff get so hot that not only is it like smoking, snapping, cracking, and popping, but it actually popping, it's like a little volcano snapping stuff out of there. This stuff can be dangerous. So whenever you get through your layup and you've got any kind of resin left over at the bottom of it, pour water on top of it to make sure it cools it down quicker and it doesn't pop and act like a volcano or erupt out of there. But if you fire it correctly and not too hot, you don't get this. I did this intentional because I needed to kick, and I needed to kick quick. So this is one of those cases, don't do as I say, not as I do type things. Yeah, that's it. If I'd have fired it just a little slower, I might have had time to get that air out of there. But also, it started to get dark on me last night, which is another no-no. But that's okay. Like I said, this part right here for me is nothing but pull a working part. This mold is for me to pull a working part from to do my design work around all this and the other side. And like I said, this is nothing more than a splash mold for me to make some actual parts from to cut up and design a new set of windows that I want. I'll have two separate sets of windows. I'm going to make one from based off this mold, splash mold here. Then I'm going to make another set just using plywood and fiberglass. And yeah, I'll show you guys that video whenever it gets started. But anyway, enough the rambling. So that may not have been a very good detailed tutorial like I normally do, but I've got some other stuff I'm going to pull molds up of that'll allow you guys a good bird's eye shot on top of the parts that I'm making or pulling or whatever to see the details and how to make your own fiberglass molds off of whatever part we're pulling from. So if you guys enjoyed that video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, leave some cool comments. If you're enjoying these fiberglass videos, down in the comment section, leave me some cool comments, tell me what you think, okay? Alright everyone, appreciate you hanging out with me. Peace out, later y'all.